right, ready?
Mm-hmm. Oh, let me hold my brown like Mike do. Let me keep my brown. I might need to pull it up. That look too low.
That's what he was filling that thing up. That boy was sauced up in that interview, man.
I might need some. I need a
Look,
little more brown, brother.
tell you, we need peace between these men. I don't know if I can do it.
You are trying to make peace with everybody.
Yes,
Pimp Jordan,
no,
Zeke Jordan.
no. Look, the pimp one, the ship has sailed.
Oh yeah, I told you that.
That ship.
You didn't see me on the back of that ship like this.
Yeah, you did. It's over with out. But we need something with them because that boy Zeke done show.
Hey man,
that it's still some smoke in the city.
Hey,
okay,
man.
so we got to talk about it.
Hey man,
we got to talk about it.
Yeah,
okay,
buddy.
before we do, America, make sure y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You feel me? So y'all can officially really be down with always be up on game with the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game. That is, put it on something. I am first letter. That is my brother Tim G. Jacob, the honorable one. You feel me? We're filming this on Christmas Eve because the work does not stop. But we will say Merry Christmas to you and yours. You understand me?
Let me get my center ball right. Let me get my ball right.
And since it is the holiday season, my
you
God,
want to make peace. You really want to
yes,
make peace.
yes. Peace and joy.
No, bro.
To all.
Time for that.
America, if you don't know what I'm talking about, NBA legend, two-time, back-to-back NBA Finals champion. All 50 team, all 75 team, of course. He's a legend.
MF and dog. That's what
one
he
of
is.
them was.
Isiah Thomas.
Isiah Thomas. Okay.
Right.
He was on the Pivot podcast recently. And unlike Mike in The Last Dance, Zeke didn't have no brown. Zeke ain't had no vodka like I got right here. Zeke didn't need shit. All he needed was the microphone that they had somewhere clipped on it.
Zeke was Nas. All I need was one mic.
RC, well, he didn't even have to ask that many goddamn questions.
Nope.
Zeke was gonna tell it.
Look, if you remember, if you peep it, he started out trying to be cool, like not cuss. Cause he asked, "Can I say?"
Now look, but if you watch the very first part, when Channing Crowder walked in that bitch late, and Zeke told that man, "God, that motherfucker, I need some push-ups." Shit, he got on his ass, and Channing Crowder dropped his ass down and gave that man about 5 push-ups. It's the very opening. That's they hook. It's like in their little hook portion before they go to the little song or whatever.
I missed that.
Hell yeah, Zeke was cutting up. But then when the interview started, yeah, he did try to get PC. Back to corporate Zeke. But
yeah, he was NBA TV Zeke.
One Zeke got open. Particularly when they asked that man about Michael Jeffrey Jordan. God damn. He at one point, what did he tell Channing Crowder? It's a little something there. He said, no, it's a whole lot of something. It's a whole lot of motherfucking something.
It's a whole lot of something.
It's a whole lot of motherfucking something.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So we got to talk about it. America, if you missed it, okay? I'm just going to sum up the things for you, then me and my brother will discuss, okay? All right. But he said some real shit mixed in here too, okay? So I'm just going to give y'all across the board, okay? I know you're here for the mic stuff, but I'm also giving you some of the other stuff that was said, okay? All right. Zeke was like, everybody talks about Larry and Magic saving the league, Celtics, Lakers. But this is Zeke talking. This is not first letter. I have not checked this yet. I will.
Remember now. The quote of the whole interview was, "Those are the facts."
Yeah, that's what he kept saying. All right, so I would have to double check that, but he did say these are all facts. All right. Zeke said that his Pistons were involved in all of the highest rated games of the 80s. Okay. He said, you want to get, it's going to be Pistons, Lakers, Pistons, Celtics, Pistons, Bulls. He said the common denominator there is the Detroit Pistons. Okay.
Yeah.
About Mike, though. That boy said he made it easy for Mike to walk around on the west side of Chicago. He said his family took care of Mike. He said his sister kicked it with Mike's brother. Now, I don't know, some stuff. I don't know. Okay. He said his nephew lived with Mike. Okay. I had never heard that before. And you would never think that would happen. Okay. See, he came. I thought at some point he was gonna say, "I kept them GDs off that motherfucker's ass" or something. I thought you were gonna.
I wish he would have just gone and said it. I don't know why he would try to dance around it and be professional. Just go on and say, "I kept them boys off you, man."
I thought you were about to tell us that. Okay, but then he went back to a little bit of corporate Zeke and was like, he was disappointed in how they treated Jerry Krause. Okay, no, Zeke has run an organization before. If I'm not mistaken, he ran the Knicks or Toronto. One of the two. I think he coached the Knicks. I know. We gonna talk about him coaching the Knicks a little later.
But he had the Pacers too now.
He coached the Pacers as well. I got that in the note. But and I remember him coaching them. But I want to say he was in like a front office role in Toronto though.
It might have been. Yeah,
I think he was. So. Okay. So I think he kind of, the way them boys were treating Jerry Krause.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right. He accused Mike and them and the Bulls of taking the Pistons and Celtics players. Excuse me. I get that from my grandma and my mama. They start laughing when they be talking. I apologize. He accused Mike and the Bulls of taking the Pistons and Celtics players. The players he was talking about were Rodman, Sally, James Edwards, and Robert Parrish. Now, a lot of folks, you only remember Dennis Rodman playing with the Bulls, okay? But John Sally did end up playing with the Bulls later on. He did not get a lot of tick whatsoever, but he was on the team. James Edwards did end up playing for the Bulls. A lot of y'all don't even remember James Edwards playing for the Pistons, okay? But James Edwards was a serviceable big, but that was really with the Pistons. He didn't do much with the Bulls. Robert Parrish, you sure enough don't remember Chief with the Bulls, okay? But Parrish played about 37 years in the league, and a few of those years were with the Bulls, okay? He accused the league of changing the rules so Mike could win. Now, that got LeBron fans like my young boy Zebo so happy. He texting me and talking about the league was watered down and all. Zeke, you just gave the Bron stand something to run without, okay? He claimed, this Zeke talking, that if he didn't mess up his wrist, the Bulls would have never won.
They would never won.
Okay. He didn't appreciate Mike and them, well, Mike particularly, calling them thugs and saying that they were bad for basketball. I can understand that. But he did give Mike credit for what he did for the business of basketball.
Yes.
He did give him a lot of credit in that instance. And I want to give Zeke credit about some stuff I learned about him, what he did for the business of basketball. But I didn't learn in this podcast. They reiterated it in this podcast, but I had heard in the Knuckleheads about him being a player union VP and then the president. VP president. I learned in their Bad Boys doc, they were the first ones that had the private jets. You know what I'm saying? Like Zeke.
Yeah. The people of color. I mean, in color covering the game,
covering the game. Yeah, that was in the part. Zeke one of them ones. That's what I'm saying. That's why we need the piece, T. That's why we need the piece. Okay. They did address the beef between him and Magic Johnson. If y'all haven't seen that, if you love basketball and you have not seen the one-on-one sit down between Isiah Thomas and Magic Johnson, go watch that shit. Okay. Just know Zeke gonna end up crying at the end of that motherfucker. Okay. Because them boys, now Zeke says the beef was because basically Pat Riley said they couldn't be friends. I heard somewhere or read somewhere or watched somewhere that part of it was also dealing with Magic Johnson's HIV status, and that some guys in the league were saying that he might have been gay, and then some people thought that Isiah was one of the ones who was pushing that rumor. Okay. I gotta go find where I heard that and I'll report that back to y'all. Okay. But But look at the real shit though. Look at this real shit. They asked him what he want his legacy to be. Zeke said he wants to leave a way for his family to eat. Something so simple, but when you think about that, some real ass shit. He talking about a way for them to constantly always have something, but they ain't got to go begging to nobody else. Because again, he makes that an astute point. They wasn't getting that bag like that back then.
No, they wasn't.
You know what I'm saying? And he ain't got the Michael Jordan shoe deal like that. So that's the real ass shit. In terms of his coaching, now Channing Crowder gonna ask you some shit. We've seen him come straight at Deion Sanders. He come at folks.
These stuff at Kevin Hart, yeah.
He asked him about his coaching career. And I learned some shit I didn't know. We knew that Zeke lost his job in Indiana.
They were taking some teams from him.
But he said Larry Bird took that team from that Pacers team and gave it to his friend Rick Carlisle. Now, after I went back and watched the games, the Michael Jordan research and stuff, I see that, Rick Carlisle was on them Celtics teams. So that makes a lot of sense. All right. He talked about with the Knicks, we know that run was bad, but he said he was going through some personal shit. But I know from watching the Knuckleheads podcast, Q Richardson played for him with that team, and he vouches for that motherfucker. He vouches for Zeke on some life shit. Maybe the record don't show it, but on some life shit with the Knicks, he held them players down. Okay. And see, this another big one, T. I really want to get your thoughts on this one, T. When he went down there to coach at FIU, and he say, first 2 years or whatever, you're going to suck. You try to get your guys in. Mm-hmm. He said around that third year or so, whatever, start to get your guys in. But he said they got rid of him, brought in Rick Pitino Jr. Rick Pitino Jr. won with his players, with Zeke's players, dipped and went and took Tubby Smith's job in Minnesota. And that shit hit me because I said, God damn.
I remember that.
If they'll do that shit to Isiah Thomas, Hall of Famer, he's in the pantheon of greats. He ain't just all-time 75. This motherfucker is 50. Okay?
Legend.
Like, he won them all. And he got shitted on like that at the coaching level. I was like, that made me think about Deion Sanders. It made me think about, damn, what if he go out there to Colorado, get stud recruiting classes, but still can't beat Oregon and USC and all that kind of stuff? What if they throw him away, bring in some white guy, basically do the same shit that happened to Zeke?
It's possible. It's gonna happen. How about that? How about I just put it on something tonight? It's gonna happen.
Like I don't know.
It's gonna happen.
You would think with a guy like him, this is Isiah Thomas. This is Isiah Thomas at Florida International.
Well,
and fuck over him.
The thing I remember was I remember him going there, and I think it was just that bug for coaching, that bug for helping young guys and stuff, and just being an influence. And to me, college is different than pro. Because college, you really getting young guys to buy in. Like pro, usually Thomas, and at this point, I think his name still has validity in terms of the generation of talent that was playing at that time. So I think they had some respect for him, for real. But when you go hit them youngins, unless your OGs is really teaching you about who Zeke Thomas is, you got to sell them something different. And I think that Zeke was able to influence players. And look, let me tell you something. This is how I know Zeke influence had to be really good at FIU to be able to get the talent in, start building the program, and that type of stuff, is because I listened to Zeke, and I'm not, full disclosure, I was not a Zeke Thomas fan. Based upon me being such a Mike Jordan Chicago Bulls fan, right? But this is what I'm going to say. After this interview, and I truly believe everything that man's saying, because I think that man has sat there a long time and has sat on some stuff. He sat on some things
Mm-hmm.
that I don't think Mike Jordan would truly tell me. Because Mike's whole angle is to be perceived. See, Mike's thing was always about image. That was always Mike's thing. The way you dress, the way you look, the way you present yourself, the way you handle the media, the way you do things. Mike's presentation has always been about being pleasing to media and such, and the image and the look. Zeke never got a shot at that because he played for Detroit, the bad boys, those thugs, those this, those that. And man, Zeke's right. Mike's an asshole. I've
Yeah.
always known that.
You know,
I've
he
always
is
known
that.
that. He's an asshole. But it goes even deeper because Zeke is truly telling you that, look, there was a point, there's this point in time, 89, 90. Those were the 2 years they won the titles, right?
Mm-hmm.
That he's saying the league did not want this style of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
We need to market that guy, number 23, from North Carolina. We need that guy to flourish.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't make a crap that Zeke Thomas had already taken down with the Lakers once
And the Trailblazer.
and the Trailblazers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And beat the Celtics to get there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But Zeke's too small. Whatever adjectives you want to attach to him, he's too small. His team's too thuggish, too nasty of a team, too rough, too this, too that, too whatever. It don't serve for what the NBA was trying to do. And again, it's business. And ironically, Zeke is the president of all these dudes.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy. He's the front man. And they still kind of, it's just like they didn't want Zeke. But the players love Zeke, but the league didn't. That's kind of what I got from him.
The players his teammates loved him.
Teammates, but I mean, okay, but you got to vote him. You got to vote him in, right?
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
I figured you got to vote him in. So I figured everybody said, well, Zeke's acumen is there, or maybe these guys wasn't up on what they need to be up on.
Zeke is sharp. To your point, this was so crazy. You talking about Mike having the image of pleasing and dressing well. Zeke's dressed well. My mom had a crush on this man.
Well,
because of how well spoken Isiah Thomas is.
Yeah.
How in all his interviews he was a gentleman.
Yeah.
He dressed sharp. As Zeke pointed out, he said some racial controversial shit though. And you ain't got all this you ain't got no Draymond Green podcast at that time. You ain't got Shannon Sharp on TV, which I ain't gonna act like he represent for the black people no more like that. Fuck that. You ain't even got though a black figurehead in media being able to say shit really.
Yeah.
You know, to us a bunch of white guys. So when he said that shit about Larry Bird be just another white guy, which they didn't bring that up in this pod, but I think Rodman said it, and and Zeke just reiterated it, that if Larry Bird was a black guy, he'd just be another good black guy. He wouldn't be getting all this favor. That rubbed a lot of folks the wrong way. And then the comment they did say in the pod about, I don't want to be judged. I'm paraphrasing that. I don't want to be judged through the prism of just white males, because that's all who was fucking the sports writers.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't like that shit.
Mm-hmm. But
just like Bill Russell. Just like Bill Russell. Bill Russell wasn't going to play your game.
Yeah.
So it's fucked up that he got a reputation as thug, when quite honestly, my boy Michael Jeffrey Jordan, Mike a fucking thug. And I didn't know it as a kid. But Mike crazy as hell. Mike smoking, Mike drinking, Mike fucking them women on the side of Juanita. He talking shit to his teammates. He talking shit to the employers.
Punch to you, Kerr.
He go, he might
punch the president.
Mike
I
the
mean,
one.
talk crap about the president. Punch
Mike the
Steve
one
Kerr.
thugging. Mike was the one thugging. But then Mike come in the interview and call them thug. So that is fucked up.
It's all power, man.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up on Mike part.
It's all power.
I will push back on Zeke on this with the whole they changed the rules just so Mike could win.
I think he's right.
They were finna win if the man just get one. He needed one dude to hoop with him.
I think he's right.
He needed one guy to hoop with him.
I think there's some truth to that.
I don't think for him to win though. I think it's for the game to be more aesthetically pleasing. Just like okay, they let these boys travel now, and they've taken out the hand checking and all that kind of stuff. I don't think they did that for LeBron to win.
No.
I think they did that to sell tickets and to get views.
I think Zeke has every right to say that simply because
he got the right to say it, but it's just I don't think it's true.
I think it's true, and I think it's true because the league needed that. They didn't need Detroit winning 3 or 4 more titles. You go down in your pantheon and you say Bill Laimbeer was an all-time power forward, or it was just the aesthetics. I think NBA was trying to get to the point of let's sell this product globally.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to sell it, but how does that gonna make one team win?
I think
because the rule change was a flagrant foul. That's what you're talking about. Now, when I'm going back and watching the game, you can hear the commentator say about you can see when the flagrant foul was put in for the first time.
Right.
I don't think a flagrant foul call led to 6 championships.
I think Zeke has every right to feel like that simply because now he could be simply let's say how do I want to put it? He could simply feel like that because he got some discontent from Mike. I'll say that. I will say this though: the NBA does things for a certain reason. We've seen that because don't nobody play defense no more right now, and Dev the Lab is trying to figure this out. Devin the Lab is trying to get it right. So
shout out.
The league is doing things from a business standpoint.
From a bit, I'm a totally.
I think maybe Zeke didn't say that. Maybe Zeke didn't say that in the way he didn't say that. Maybe in the most PC way.
He said how he meant it because he's
a
competitive. Again, he said if his wrist ain't messed up, the Bulls don't win.
I don't think he's wrong.
Natty, oh my God, what are you over there drinking, Natty? What are you drinking over there?
We've seen 3-1 comebacks.
They went 6. They went 6 in 1989. Okay. In 1990, they went 7. And Scotty got a migraine. He played the whole team played like shit in that game 7, by the way. Quit shitting on Scottie Pippen only. The whole team, other than Michael Jordan, go watch the game. It's on YouTube. They played like shit. Okay. But it went to 7 games, and his wrist wasn't fucked up then. So it's like they were closing in on their ass, and by 91, they just got them. They were just hoping. Pip took another step. Pip took a step.
I'm gonna side with Zeke.
That's crazy. This man's still a Bulls fan. Bulls Nation finna come for him.
Side with Zeke. I'm side with Zeke. No, they ain't gonna come for me because you know why? Because they probably finna trade the whole farm by the time this thing drop on YouTube. So
are you talking about Zach LaVine and them
and Vucevic and all that? They liable to just burn all that up for then. So I mean, but you know, I put it like this: Zeke has every right to feel that way, based on his vantage point. And I will say,
they're competitive. They hate each other. So, you know,
and I want Zeke to lay down at the end and hate him after that.
I don't want that. That's what I don't want.
I do.
What I want them boys to do. Look, I know they got smoke.
You know they ain't talking.
But if Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali,
that's different.
They hit each other in the face
And we've watched these men hit each other in the face for 12 rounds and hug.
15 rounds the first time, 12 rounds the second time, and another 14 the next time. 14 or 15. And then, at some point now, Joe Frazier still had a little smoke. I ain't gonna lie, he still did have some smoke. I can't lie about that. Okay. But this ain't as bad as that.
It's bad.
This is not as bad. Michael Jordan has not called this man no gorilla.
He didn't have to.
He ain't called him stupid. I'm just naming what Ali has done.
I know.
It ain't as bad.
Jordan don't have to, because Jordan has the vehicle to keep all this stuff. He's got the protection. Mike's got the protection. Don't nobody hate him. That's a fan. Like if you talk NBA lore, Mike is pinnacle. So there's that. Media wise, he's always been like the guy that will give you the time. That was Mike's thing. His image was, I give you time, I answer all questions, I'll do this, I'll do that. Mike's always been that guy. Now, his image gives him a lot of protection.
Now we remember we were young that T. That lad Dan reminded us of some stuff when he stopped talking to the media and everything. When a media blackout, his dad had to end up talking to the media. He finally did an interview with Ahmad Rashad, had the black shades on, talking about the gambling. They were coming out,
but he does that.
Gambling.
He probably did that because he knew, hey, I got the control here. I'm the most marketable guy in the game.
They were ripping him a new ass.
You can't. And when you can, I'm gonna give you everything I got.
Before he won, everybody was saying a scoring champion can't win and all this stuff. It wasn't just all roses now.
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't. But my thing is this, though. Mike also had the cachet that Zeke didn't have.
Because he Michael Jordan.
Exactly. See what you're saying? He Michael Jordan.
What I'm saying is he could do things that Zeke couldn't do.
Exactly.
Zeke 6'1"-ish.
But look at what Zeke.
If Zeke was playing today, my God, he's a legend right now.
So do we say ahead of his time?
Yeah, he's ahead of his time. He's in the wrong era because he's in an era where the lane's so congested. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy that can He could dribble. Isiah Thomas can dribble like Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry, America. Yes, he could.
Hella stupid.
Okay. They weren't gonna let your ass do all that shit back then. Them coaches were gonna kick your ass. Okay. Even you look at the grassroots level of basketball. When I played high school basketball, if Ray Cesar Lee will tell you about our coach, you over dribbled the basketball, you can get cussed out.
Yeah.
They want you to get off the ball. Well, that's the kind of shit Zeke was in. Yeah. But if he was in this era where he can screen roll and ISO on bigs and and get to a lane that's spread out with shooters, woo, he would have been even crazier.
I don't think Zeke wrong for saying the things he said in this pod. I think a lot of them are true. I think a lot of them are true in the sense of Zeke was inside of the business world between organizations and players. And I think he heard a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things he probably just didn't say that I think he has heard or has been addressed with. And him being a VP or president of the union, I think there's a lot of things that he knows or understands about the business of basketball that I think brings validity to what he's saying.
I think that they knew y'all keep knocking this man ass out and he get hurt, y'all finna cost us some money. Now, if you're gonna say they put in a flagrant foul rule in part so we won't hurt a motherfucker like Michael Jordan, then okay. That makes total sense. I can't say that. But to say this man never would have won if they
I think he would have.
If they hadn't put in a flagrant foul when he was still dominating individually before they had the flagrant foul. He won his first MVP in 1988. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's some of the vitriol talking with that
It ain't
one.
gonna be no peace. Let's just get to right. Let's
No,
get right.
but this is why we need it. This is why I said we need it.
Ain't gonna be none.
This is why we need it. Because of the real shit that Zeke says. Like Zeke, if him and Mike join forces, the great shit, the guy who is a son of Chicago, West Side Chicago.
Yeah, we made sure you knew that was the West Side.
Mama activist.
Made sure you knew it was West Side.
Mama tied in with the Panthers even. Okay. And a guy who became an adopted son of Chicago in Michael Jordan. If them guys could join forces, man, I just think that would be very good for the culture. Because their beef is not rooted in just like stomp down, just unforgivable shit. I'm not one of them people that I'm not a forgiving person once you go there. And I don't see in either regard that either one of these brothers have just gone there to the point of no return. Like Pimp and Mike ain't no return. I get that. I've left that dream alone. Now that Marcus Jordan and Larsa Pippen are fucking, all I see is you on the back of the ship waving. Because that ship is sail. That's all I see. But these boys, somebody, goddamn it, IG Entertainment, we got to do it. We got to put up some money. I don't know how much money it's gonna take him. Mike got a lot of money, but
you ain't gonna get him.
T,
I know. Look, this is the hardest thing I have to do tonight.
T, don't tell me that. Listen, let me tell the people what this last thing is.
Okay, go ahead.
Maybe this will change your opinion. Okay,
I'm listening.
Near the end of that interview, America, that boy Isiah Thomas talked about. Well, I think Ryan Clark mentioned some white fan rolled up on Zeke.
Yeah,
was related to see Zeke.
Yeah,
and Zeke talked about being so grateful for the power to make somebody's day. Just by being nice to them.
Yeah,
little shit like that.
Yeah,
that man's humility.
Yeah,
and Zeke has a grace to him.
He does.
And I hear this because again, when I watch these podcasts like Knuckleheads, and you hear these hoopers talk their story, when it be a hooper who has him as their OG.
We're talking Zeke, right?
Zeke.
Okay.
When it be a hooper that comes on their podcast, and they have somehow crossed paths with Zeke for Zeke to have some kind of input on their life, it's always like some real ass. Kevin Garnett said part of the reason he went ahead and went pro, Isiah Thomas. Say because Garnett, he from the South, but ended up going to Chi-Town.
Yeah, he's Chi-Town guy.
He said he was in the gym or some shit, and I think him and Scottie Pippen got into it in the gym that day. Mike was in there. Mike told me, I love that shit. We ain't thugging. But say it was Zeke pulled him and started giving him some game on what he needed to do. He said he went to the crib, contacted his people, started running down to them the shit that Zeke had told him that he needed to do. Like, that man Zeke, he is a treasure of ours. Just like Mike is a treasure of ours. And I would like to see these brothers.
See, that's where you are hopeful, and I'm not.
Tell you, I can still go to YouTube and see them go at it.
I like it.
See that.
I like it. I like where you're going. I like what you're thinking.
Right.
This is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Mike don't give a shit. Mike the same man that didn't give them kids that didn't lose in that what was that? A knock, that wasn't knockout.
In that camp thing.
Yeah, and he didn't get them kids them shoes. Mike's that guy.
That's that competitive. Yeah,
I get it.
And so now this is.
But do you think them shoes would have cost him any damn thing? He done made all them.
I just think he didn't want to miss.
He made all them.
So he didn't give him the shoes even after making all the shots.
Hell no. Hell, I wouldn't if I'm Mike Jordan, because I'm an asshole. Let's just be honest here now. Zeke Thomas just told you, my mama from Vicksburg, Mississippi. Okay. My mama fled from Vicksburg to start a better life. My mama a gangster. My mama stayed with the thing on
But
her.
he said she got ran out.
She got ran out, fled, ran out. She got ran out of Vicksburg.
No, I'm saying, so it wasn't like she just left Mississippi,
Yeah,
going to seek a better life. Whatever, how she's so gangster that shit don't coincide with Mississippi, so she had to get on down for her safety.
Take it on down to
and
Chicago.
Wouldn't even come back down here when somebody passed away.
Got a whole lot of relatives that did the same thing. Got several of them on my grandmama's side that did the same thing. Left, went to Chicago, moved.
You don't think these people you don't think this a type of you don't think she can get along with Mrs. Jordan?
Absolutely not. These are just two people that are just different, and they hold different things. They hold different morals. They hold different standards. Zeke Thomas is telling you, I'm for the people.
Okay.
I was for this man. Of all the things I said in that interview, that stuck with me. When if that is true, if Mike don't come out and give me a TMZ at like one of his restaurants or at one of his golf courses or one of his racing tracks or something, give me something to dispute that. Because if you ain't gonna dispute that, then Zeke right.
Do they not run up on Mike no more? Because we don't get those.
Yeah, you don't get that, and you ain't gonna run up on Mike. The last person that ran up on Mike was the young. See, this is the part I was talking about. You were talking about Zeke and how he's so good towards these up and comers and everything. And all the young dude want to do was say, "Hey, yo, I seen Michael Jordan in the parking garage, and Michael Jordan was an asshole. Didn't want to get a kid damn signature, an autograph or nothing." It's like, see, that's what I'm saying. It's two different cats. And when these two different cats stand on two different things, these boys ain't gonna make peace. Here's what we gonna do. Here's where IG Entertainment need to go. We need to get Zeke on the show. I think we'll get Zeke. Zeke would do it off the strength. If he like what we talking about and he like what we doing, we could get Zeke on here and we could do this with Zeke. We ain't got to go after Mike. We could get Zeke on this thing.
I would love to have Zeke.
Too easy.
I would love to have Zeke. See,
we already Mississippi boy.
See, we're gonna have to pay a pretty penny to get.
That's
Zeke.
Fine.
Don't let the Zeke the grinning and shit fool you. Now we gonna have to pay Zeke.
If Zeke could take, just look. Zeke just say, "Look, I had some time in my schedule, and y'all caught me right. Give me this." If he make that number right, we're gonna get that interview.
This man here this man a Chicago Bulls fan because of Michael Jeffrey Jordan. He done sold out his boy tonight. He done sold out his boy.
Because Zeke really, when they got him to open it up and talking,
he started talking, boy.
He started talking. And this ain't no stuff. See, when I've been around OGs, that be, when they go to talk about their pain and the things that hurt them, they very consistent. They ain't even stumbling over their words. They mean what they saying. They've been reciting this shit for a while.
I want to see the group text he was talking about. I want to see what them boys talking about up in that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's stupid.
America,
ain't no
in the
telling.
podcast, he revealed that the bad boys still have a group text.
Bad boys, the group text. Yeah, ain't no
and he
showed. Ain't telling what Denniston showed. Now that's what I want to know. What Denniston showed him?
I don't think Dennis in it. I don't think Dennis in it.
He might be.
They might got everybody else up in it. But there's some real motherfuckers with that team though, like Bennett Johnson. I think I found out like that man took his money and flipped it into an industry.
Yeah,
like he got like a factory or some shit.
Listen, them guys, man.
Like too few of these guys don't do shit like that. Like go into manufacturing with your money. Yeah, a lot of them go buy up or a few fast food joints and shit like that.
Yeah.
No, this man Bennett Johnson went and got some real bread, if I'm not mistaken.
Real bread, yeah. These dudes ain't stupid, man. That's what I'm saying. I think what I took from that interview was there's more respect that I need to lay upon the Bad Boys Pistons.
Oh, no doubt.
Than I have. And the documentary don't do them no justice. These dudes was
their documentary is good.
It's good. Yeah, it's good.
People overlook theirs. Nobody talks about theirs.
Exactly.
They got a damn good one. They got a damn good with American out. And I think Shannon and them, I don't think they even knew that. Because the way they were talking, they were like, man, I know more. He told her, I know more about some two-way players than I know about you.
She,
I'm like, that's just a
man,
failure.
you,
Because
man, you failed, Jack.
now look, this man got a 30 for 30 out there.
Zeke cold, man.
He always on the hardwood classic joint and all that kind of stuff. Like, and he'd been on TV forever. Like once he retired, he started calling games.
Analysts.
Yeah.
To be on NBA TV every week. He on NBA TV doing whatever analytical work with Candace Parker and Dennis Scott and all them folks. He just don't put himself out there like that.
Yeah, these folks telling me Benny Johnson worth $400 million now.
Benny Johnson getting money. I know that.
That boy flipped.
I can't remember what all he owned and rented.
Now America, again, you might hear that and think that's commonplace, but we not talking about a guy from this era.
No, it's not commonplace.
We talking about a guy who wasn't even a superstar in that era. Good player, but they were not getting paid. Michael Jordan wasn't getting paid like
all Benny Johnson was known for was being the microwave,
and he flipped that money. Now that's a flip.
That's business. That's a businessman right there.
Yeah.
Because what you reckon he made in his career? 10 million? 5 million, maybe?
You give me a second, I can tell you.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like them guys wasn't making them kind of bags.
Shit, no.
And Vinny's job was to be the microwave. I mean, he was first off the bench to go get money. To go get buckets, I'm sorry. But now he getting money.
Yeah, so see that motherfuckers, that's why I said this time.
Respect Vinny Johnson.
Respect that whole squad.
Yeah.
Like I consider them a super team because I watched the game and saw how great they were. Not saying they're a super team in terms of they just clicked up, even though Isiah did flex some muscle though and get Adrian Dantley ass gone and bring in his homie Mark Aguirre from Dallas. He flexed some shit.
Fledgling franchises, they needed some help.
This man, Vinny Johnson, this basketball reference telling me, is telling me that this man made $6,064,333 in his career and flipped that shit into a $400 million empire. That's a hell of a flip. That's the kind of motherfuckers was on them bad boy Pistons, man. Like John Sally. I don't agree with some of the shit John Sally be talking about, but John Sally has flipped shit now. He's been in the entertainment world. I know he had a brand of marijuana products now. He has a brand of vegan shit. You know what I'm talking about?
He also is tied towards Kareem Stephens. Just figured I'd I don't want to like leave that out.
That boy got ties to a lot of folks. Everybody he cool with. He cool with her. He cool with he was cool with Luther Vandross. They say he cool with Larsa Pippen.
He was a Bad Boys.
He cool
with
computer
guy. He did Bad Boys.
Like everybody that come up, something happened. He be like, well, my friend, I'm glad that my friend did it.
John cool with everybody. Yeah.
You know, and that Joe Dumars, underrated GM. Underrated ball player, first of all.
Underrated ball player.
I'm sorry. Underrated ball player, first of all. But then I'm just talking about like what these cats did afterwards. That man went and put together Bad Boys Pistons 2.0.
2.0. Sure did.
Them boys won a championship.
They did.
Went to like 4 straight conference finals or something like that.
Yeah.
3 or 4 straight.
Three, I know.
Back-to-back finals appearances. Took the Spurs to 7 games. So they won. They upset one of the greatest upsets in NBA history by beating my Los Angeles Lakers in the 2004 finals, something that I don't like to bring up, but that's how thorough
I appreciate you bringing that up.
Don't like to. Do not like to. Now, he does have a nasty stain on his GM legacy by picking Darko Milicic over Carmelo. But other than that,
I called him. He didn't listen.
He was stellar. He was stellar up there in that regard, man. So that team is influential as fuck.
It is.
And Zeke is influential as fuck, man. I love him. Michael Jordan, my favorite player of all time. Yeah, everybody knows that. But I love this man, Isiah Thomas.
Zeke, great, man.
I do love Isiah Thomas.
Zeke's great.
And
Great
I just want peace in the Middle East.
It ain't happening. But I mean, it's all right. It's all right to dream.
Merry Christmas, T. We want Zeke and Mike have a Merry Christmas.
It ain't happening.
Well, America, y'all chime in. Let us know if y'all think that Michael Jordan and Isiah Thomas can never make peace.
Never.
Put it on something.
Thank you so much for watching my daddy's YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and turn on your post notifications. Okay, how do I do it?